let's get into the conversation now. Our focus tonight, our very first focus actually, is on the People's Democratic Party and its internal crisis. There are concerns as to whether or not this party will survive, especially being the country's main opposition party. There are meetings left, right, and center. And as I said earlier, the People's Democratic Party Governors Forum of the PDP will be meeting tomorrow morning at the Bauchi Governor's Lodge. So we also know that the Reconciliation Committee has started to meet. So let's talk now to a member of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Bode George. He joins us virtually. Chief, welcome to Politics Today.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
George, can you hear me? Welcome to Politics Today. Chief, if you can hear me, we're trying to start this conversation on an explanatory note, if I may put it that way, trying to get you to clarify some of the things in the public space before we go into the issue of the reconciliation. Now, we've heard some things regarding the leadership of the People's Democratic Party. One of the things we've heard regarding the leadership of the People's Democratic Party in the last maybe 24, 48 hours is that the PDP governors have settled for replacement for Mr. Damagum, and also we hear that the PDP Board of Trustees, the state chairman, some members of the National Assembly have passed a vote of confidence on Damagum leadership. Perhaps you could clarify if any of these is true.
Is that question for me?
Oh, yes, please. We're trying to clarify. Can you hear me? We're trying to clarify some of the rumors that are in the public space with regard to the leadership of the national, of your party. The Board of Trustees, we hear that the Board of Trustees, some members of your party have endorsed or passed a vote of confidence on the leadership of Mr. Damagum, and then we hear that the PDP Governors Forum have settled to replace him. Is any of this true?
You know, I can't confirm anything because I'm in Lagos here. And looking at the ongoings, you know, I feel very hot in my heart, and this is not the best approach for our party. Yeah, normally you have disagreements, you have discontentment, and it's normal when you have an organization. But the most important thing is that it is the interest of the party that must come before any individual interest. I'm getting a little bit of disappointment that we are allowing all these brickbats to keep, you know, disturbing the peace in our party. Because, you see, the most important thing is to convince the electorate, who are more in number than those who are card-carrying members of our party. The perception, the public perception is so important. And I know for sure that our party has the capacity. So what is delaying it? Why is this thing spreading and, you know, expanding, and all talks now go to the public? All the details of things we are supposed to meet within the confines of our party to discuss the details. Do they think that there is the APC, they don't have problems? This party has the capacity, the way it was established, to be able to handle all these disagreements amongst people. It's pure personality conflict. And if we cannot resolve that, how can we tell the public to believe and trust in us that we will be able to manage the resources of this country for their benefit? I can't keep falling deep, and I don't know exactly where we are.
Okay, Chief, let me come in here. You talk about reconciling the need for your party to move forward. But it would seem that your party has started the process. I like to think you're aware that the Reconciliation Committee led by former Governor Lagunsoyo Inola had a meeting today. The details are not known yet, but they say they will brief the National Working Committee tomorrow. So I know also that you maintain this stance that this is not the process, this is not the right way of reconciliation. And some would say that this lack of support that you are openly showing to the committee and the party could also be the downfall of the party. What do you say?
You know, I worked at the National Secretariat of our party for 10 years. In fact, I was one of those people the founding fathers handed over to. The first elective convention in 1999 December was when the founding fathers handed over the structures, the constitution, the norms, the do's and the don'ts of the party to us. So we have a system. We have a way by which we can manage such crisis, any crisis. And all these things are not too large enough for us to drown us. So I've been begging all sides, please calm down. Nigerians, the electorate have been asking, begging us to go back, reconcile ourselves, rebuild the party, send it back to where it was when we started, so that they can now have the same confidence that all will be well with our party. Public pronouncements and no, Ilola has the capacity. He has done a little bit of reconciliation. People have met him in Ibadan. That's for the Southwest. But for me, as an elder of this party, when I hear tones and signals from various groups that are parading themselves, you look at it. Where is the interest of the party? Which should be the number one issue for any member, that we must sustain unity, we must respect the constitution of our party, and all these going to court, going to these all discussions being in the public eye and all that, we created that opening. And the moment you keep washing your dirty linens in the public, then how can you convince the electorate that on the day of the next election, they can trust your party? Please, I'm begging all of you to calm down, go back. We knew where the faults were when it started. It started like a little full stop, but it is becoming a dangerous cancer now. So, in the interest of the founding fathers of our country, in particular, Chief Dr. Alex Ekweme, who was the chief convener, who invited Chibola Ige from the Southwest, Baba Solomon Lad from the North, and Rini from Kano, and so many others, the original G14. They conceptualized this concept we are using to resolve the issue of tribalism and religious bigotry. We settled down. The people accepted our concept of operation. And a little disturbance created this already monumental crisis. We shouldn't get to this.
Okay, Chief.
Who knows what who will be tomorrow?
Okay.
Who knows who will live for tomorrow? And this is 2024. The election is still on 2027. But the way we are going, we are tearing ourselves into pieces. We are fighting on personal human interest. No.
All right, Chief.
Let us unite and put the party in its proper perspective. That's why when you are not divided, you will win. But a house divided against itself can never win.
All right, Chief. You talked about the past and how your party has faced some internal crisis in the past and has handled it. But some would argue that this particular situation is unprecedented. I don't know if you agreed, or has your party had something similar to this kind of internal crisis? Because there are questions around this reconciliation move and its success, because people are pointing to major players. They say the exchange of words, especially in recent times, between the two persons whom they consider to be the main proponents of this crisis in your party. That's Nyesom Wike and Atiku Abubakar in recent times. It's not going to help the party's reconciliation move.
So, I want to appeal. It is true, because it all started from the convention, the presidential convention. It all started from that time. And up till now, since the elections were held and the court judgments were given, and we are still looking, rather than closing ranks to forget personal ambition on all sides. We are expanding it, we are tearing it, and they think it is by one losing or one winning that the party can come together. I want to please beg these people. Let me give this example. The chief convener, who was Baba Alex Ekweme, Baba Obasanjo was in prison when they were meeting to establish this party. Dr. Alex Ekweme contested 2 times against Baba Obasanjo, and he lost. As a formidable member, the centerpiece of the union that established this party, he never decided that he will bring down the roof. So what is so personal? What is so personal that kind of ambition will be higher than the ambition of the party? We must be able to reduce and completely disown personal interest and ambition and center on the unity of this party. The way we are going, and all the talk and this and that, I got miffed and I heartbroken. That what is it that we are looking for? Who is even sure he will be alive in 2027? Please, all of them, to please be quiet. The board of trustees will meet, the governor's forum are meeting, everybody is looking for peace, but
But there have been series of meetings, Chief, that have not really yielded. As a matter of fact, I think the opposition looks at your party and questions its disciplinary machinery and whether it's effective or not. The questions around how certain members of your party speak about the party. Quite recently, we heard former Governor Ayodele Fayose talk about your party in very strong terms. He's quoted to have said, "I don't care what people say about me. I'm with you, and whoever that is not pleased should take their party away." He was reacting to his support for the governor of Ekiti State, Bode Oyebanji. And you also heard what the former River State governor, the FCT minister, also said just a few days ago. The disciplinary measures in your party, they don't seem to be effective. That's the criticism your party is getting.
No, they just set up these committees, the disciplinary one, and then when you look at the membership, when you look at the membership of both the reconciliatory committee and the disciplinary committee, as an insider, you look at the composition and the membership. Is it fair? Is it general? Can they rise above their own suspicion of being aligned with one group as against the other group? There must be satisfaction. There must be a balance in all these things. But okay, Oyinlola has done his the first meeting as well. I was told Southwest, he has met with all the people and all that and find a solution. And then you go to the disciplinary committee. they will now decide who is to be punished, who is not to be punished.
Do you think the disciplinary committee is weak? Because I've heard you talk about Chief Tommy Kimi and question his experience or his membership of the party. Do you think the disciplinary committee as it's composed of right now is weak?
No. Let me tell you what my position was. Because people spread it. I had known Tom way back, when I was still governor of Ondo State. And his own big brother too, Adbra Komo, was also my big oga. Now, when I saw that they appointed him as the chairman, I called the management of the party. I said, you want me? I've been in this party longer than Tom. I have no qualms about his capacity, his ability, but for me to serve under him, I said, please, excuse me. I would rather stay out, let them do whatever they want to do. I am not saying that he is not competent to do it, but for me to serve under him, I said I would not accept that. He is my good friend. But these issues, you should look at who is the real doing. Who are the people who started from the beginning? Since 1998 we started, and until we had the election in 1999, I said to you, I spent 10 years in that same national secretariat. So if you want experienced people, they're still there. And I said, please let me excuse myself. I won't go, because justice, fairness, equity should envelop any decisions you are making. That's why I said I won't serve on that disciplinary committee. I'm not impinging on his credibility or his competence, because Tom too has been in the political field for some time. But when did he join the party? We have discussed. Tom and we had discussed. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't serve. I told the management, no, I'm not the only one. But if you call me to ask for, based on the experience I have acquired, I will be too happy to do it. We handled the party from 1999 December, after the first executive elective conference of the party. The constitutional that. We sat down there, worked like hell, brought it to this level. And that little mistake that they made during the presidential convention has become completely enveloped the party, Chief, and was ready to sink the party. I'm begging them, everybody, to keep quiet. Let's get equal numbers of representatives from all those people. And I'm happy the Governors Forum is meeting, the BOT is still meeting, and somehow we will get there. But don't make it a decision where you will use it to indict certain people, because you'll be causing so much mayhem in the public.
I want to get a quick clarification from you.
Right.
With regard to the disciplinary committee and perhaps the reconciliation committee, your stance. I understand that you have talked about Chief, your position with regard to Chief Tommy Kimi. You say he is competent, no doubt. But I want to ask you, based on what you said, are you saying that the committees, as they are composed as they are right now, that they are incompetent or they are not properly constituted?
The management of the party, that's the National Working Committee, must have met to nominate people into all these committees. But as an insider, I looked at it and I said, there are certain areas that require clarification and understanding. So, like an old man who has been in the village for long, and if things happen, who do you go to? You will call those you believe have been part of this system from the very, very beginning. Now, you are having what I saw was that he was killed. You have more men who are on the side of one of the fighters and few from another side. Are you going to be able to manage it? And then they threw me straight into the middle. I said, I beg you, I don't, I can't be running to Abuja and coming and all that. But I can't serve under that. Because we were there, they handed over to us. When you are sitting and you are composing that, you look at all those issues. Who are the most competent, who are the most committed, who have had the experience required to handle that. And I said, please, sir, excuse me. The people there are my friends. The former governor of Kano too is my friend. But when we were fighting, at the beginning, when we reestablished, making sure we have a deep taproot to make the PDP the Iroko tree for this country, they were on the other side of the divide. So how can you now sit down and say something is wrong? There are still people who started, who worked like hell to get the party up to this level. Not just nominate. You could have asked people for inputs when you were doing it. How do you feel like this? How do you think this will work? How can we moderate all these fireworks in the public? And it is not new. We had this kind of crisis severally, but we handled it within the party,
All right.
not for public consumption. And that is what is giving me goose flesh. And my heart is wrenching. I am feeling miffed and angry that what are we doing on all sides? What the heck are we doing?
All right, Chief, let me quickly just take you up on a couple of questions before we say goodbye.
Yeah.
One of them is on calls for suspension. Two persons have been fingered with regard to some of the comments they've made. One of them is former FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. You're very much aware that Chief Edwin Clark and one or two persons have called for a suspension. And quite recently, the Ekiti State chapter of the party has called for the suspension of Governor Fayose as well for openly supporting the APC candidate. That's Governor Oyebanji. What do you think about this with regard to the reconciliation that's going on now?
Let me be specific now. If it is true that Governor Fayose openly rejected the party and stated that he is going to work for the APC governor, he has defined his direction. Do you need even to handle that? He has defined his direction. From his word, they will make arrangement for that investigation within the confines of Ekiti State before they will report. And I'm sure there are quite a lot of old hands too in Ekiti. If Ayo knows that you cannot say you are a member of this party and a former governor of this party, two-time governor, to say you are working openly, for the governor of the opposition party, then something is wrong. Something is wrong. That of Wike, I believe that we can still resolve this crisis because people are talking what he's doing. I don't agree with what he's doing now. I can never, as an elder of the party. It is degrading the party, giving the party a lot of bad image before the electorate. And we need the electorate. We need to convince the electorate. Now, there are too many speeches and clamors and stories and things that should be held within the room. A party is like a family. If you have a problem within the family, do you go to the marketplace to start talking and writing this down and pushing that one down and thinking? We are deriding the
all
real
right.
fellowship that these Babas gave us since
Chief,
1999.
Chief Bode
For
George,
God's sake.
is it safe to say, on a final note, is it safe to say that you are concerned about the chances of your party in the Ondo governorship election, bearing in mind that some attribute the failure of the party in the Edo governorship election to the internal crisis? Do you fear that such could be replicated in Ondo State?
Ondo State? They will try. Is the APC party better than us, even in this crisis? Are they better? Their party is a congregation of strange bedfellows. Strange bedfellows. Okay, now they have a president. If they have any crisis, Ganduje, have they had any general election? Party election to elect the members who will manage the party? No.
All right.
So, like our own, we should be able to rise above this pettiness and selfishness on all sides,
All right.
so that the party can reassign itself,
All right.
reestablish itself, and go the path we have deviated from the normalcy handed over by the founding fathers of this party. We can handle it. Who knows tomorrow? Election, presidential, governorship, whatever, that it is still in 2027. For God's sake, calm down.
All right.
Everybody shut up and calm down.
All right,
And
Chief.
then get membership to balance.
All right, Chief.
So that it is not one-sided.
Chief,
I don't want to expand on that one, but this is the observation of some of us.
All right, Chief.
That are still loyal.
Chief, would like to
My
thank.
brother, let me reassure the members of the public. I know they've been asking, what is happening with you people in PDP? It's another experience of development. It's another experience of what you go through in life. But if we trust in God and we believe in this party, it is not you who will always be on top of the
Chief.
party. It's not a private enterprise.
Chief Bode
It's not
George.
a private company of any individual.
We're hopeful. We're
So,
hopeful that your
please.
advice is heeded. Would like to say a very big thank you to you for coming to speak with us on Politics Today. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very much.